Good morning and happy Sunday. I am coming at you today with a couple tips on table settings. With everybody stuck at home, I'm sure we're eating together more and more as a family. Some of you may still be eating in front of the TV, but I bet a lot of you are sitting down and having dinner together with your family. So if you aren't sure of traditional table settings, this video is for you. I'm going to show you just a basic table setting, and then since it is a holiday today, I am going to show you a fancier table setting because some of you may be setting the table a little bit nicer for your holiday meals. So even if you aren't celebrating a holiday today, there are holidays to be celebrated all year, and sometimes that calls for a little more of a formal table setting. So we'll go over that. Or even if you're out at a restaurant, they usually have more formal table settings. So we'll go over a couple things with that. So we're going to start off with just a standard traditional table setting. So here is your basic table settings. You have your plate in the middle, and then to the left a napkin with your fork on top, and then to the right of the plate you have your knife with the blade pointing in towards the plate, your spoon, and then your cup in the upper right. So that is just your basic table setting. So this is how most of you probably set your table when you sit down and have a dinner with your family most nights. All right, here is a picture of a casual table setting. You'll see that we added a couple things. So we still have our dinner plate on the bottom, and then we have our napkin with the fork on the left and the knife and the spoon on the right. We've added a salad plate on top of our dinner plate and also a soup bowl. And then you'll notice there are two glasses instead of one. So we now have a water glass, the smaller one, and then another glass for whatever else you may be drinking. So when you go to a restaurant, you may see a setup like this. You may see a wine glass in place of that second cup for adults, obviously. But this is how you could set a casual setting at your house. Here we have our formal table setting, and this sometimes can be overwhelming because there's a lot of things in front of you when you sit down. You'll find this at fancier restaurants and also maybe at holidays when your family gets together to celebrate different events. I know it's something that my family typically does, maybe not to this extent, but we always bring out the nicer plates and silverware, all the things that need hand washed at the end of dinner when we get together for celebrations. So this is actually the dinnerware that I got, my husband and I got for our wedding. And we only bring this stuff out a few times a year, but usually holidays are one, and anniversaries. So like I said, this can be overwhelming. So you kind of want to take it one step at a time when you go and sit down. So I have a dinner plate under the soup bowl. You might find a charger plate, which is a plate that's kind of just a placeholder. The soup bowl may go on it, the salad plate may go on it, but it's kind of just a holding spot. Typically, if you have a charger plate, that plate will be removed before your main dish comes, and obviously the main dish would come out on a regular dinner plate. So in the middle there, I have a dinner plate and then the soup bowl on top. To the left is the forks and folded napkin. So you'll see that there are two forks. Anytime you have multiple pieces of silverware, your best bet is to work from the outside in. So your smaller fork is the salad fork, and then the bigger fork is for your main dish. And then on the other side, you have your knife and soup spoon. Above your plate, you have your dessert spoon. And then above the fork and napkin, you have a bread plate with a butter knife on it. And then you will see you've got tons of cups. So the smaller one here is your water glass. And then typically it's set with two wine glasses, one for white and one for red. Obviously, you guys don't need to really pay attention to that since you won't be drinking red or white wine, but your parents or family may be. It was always nice. My grandma always let us have our water or chocolate milk in these when we were younger so we could feel fancy like the rest of the family. So as long as you are careful, that might be an option at your house too. But that is your formal table setting. Obviously, you're not going to set your table like this a lot just because there is a lot to it, and you typically don't need all of these items. But it is nice to get a formal table setting together every once in a while to celebrate. Kind of makes you feel fancy. Another thing you could add are placemats. You can see that I just have a table runner on our table with some flowers. So that's an option too to jazz up your holiday table. If you have flowers blooming, you can go out to the garden and pick some flowers. Really, you can make a centerpiece out of everything. So those are just your 3 basic ways to set the table. So again, this is your formal table setting. Here is your casual table setting, a little less intimidating. And then we have just our basic table setting, which is one that most people are going to use. So there you have it. If you guys are sitting down and enjoying a meal together as a family, I challenge you to use one of these place settings today and get creative with your centerpiece, whatever you may find around the house, maybe some things that you got this morning, some Easter eggs or something, or go outside and get some flowers, or just be creative. So if you're sitting down with family today, enjoy. Hope you guys have a great meal together. If you're cooking today, send me some pictures. I'd love to see them. Have a great day.